Chairman Governing Council, National Institute of Design and President of CII, Professor Pradyumna Vyas, Member Secretary, India Design Council and Director, National Institute of Design, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you and a very happy World Industrial Design Day. So today we are here for the session Make in India is equal to good design is equal to India Design Mark. Actually, we couldn't find any better phrase for that, so that's why we introduced the equal sign, because they are interrelated and interconnected. So today, without taking any more time, we'll start with the session proceeding, because we have two parts to today's session, and we begin with the first part with Mr. Suresh Sethi. So he's a very senior member of the design fraternity in India. He is Vice President Design for South Asia for Whirlpool Corporation. More than that, for us, he has been the India Design Mark jury member since the beginning, and also his company has been an applicant and recipient of India Design Mark over the last 5 cycles. So what better person we could have had than Suresh Sethi to kick off the proceedings today. Suresh Sethi.
Thank you, Desh, with those kind words. It's a wonderful day to be talking about design. Design has been part of me for the last 40 years. Give me a minute, please. Design has been part of me for the last 40 years. I joined NID in 1976. It was really an eye-opening day for me when I walked into this gate of NID, which is the Premium Institute, and what led me to my journey in design. It was there that I heard of Charles and Ray Eames, who were part of the India Design Report in 1958, and who led to the formation, that report led to the formation of what is NID, or what we know of NID today. And many years later, it was many years later that I read the India Design Report in which he had mentioned about what he saw in India. And everybody knows about good design, which as per Charles Eames, it was the uncommon beauty of common things. So it's not about what is being designed today. Good design has been there as part of a culture, even before NID. Eames actually took back many things from India, and as you can see, these tools that he made in 1959 were probably an output of what he had seen in India and in the Indian villages that he had visited. And it's part of Herman Miller, and you can even buy them today. Eames, who was a wonderful designer, had worked with plywood. What it did best was that it made business sense for the company. So good design is actually good business. Good design makes a product useful, and this was the product we designed in China, the Armstrong. And we provided a door on the washing machine because they observed many things were lying around the machine. And this was really very well accepted in the Chinese market. Good design is aesthetics, and this was another machine we designed in the China studio, which won the IF Product Design Award. Good design is unobtrusive. Whirlpool, unlike in India, has 10 companies as part of its group, and one of them is KitchenAid, Council in Brazil, Amana in Mexico, Whirlpool in Italy. Good design is unobtrusive, and we made this washing machine which kind of washes your clothes with air. And this was worked out with Procter & Gamble creating a product for us, along with the team in the studio in the US. Good design is honest. This is a very old machine designed by KitchenAid, which is still in production. the design is long lasting, so it's been there for almost 50 years.
So India Design Mark actually started in the year 2012, and it's granted by the India Design Council. India Design Council is a national strategic body for design, set up as a consequence of National Design Policy that was announced in the year 2007. It's a design excellence mark. It's a symbol that is given to products which are adjudged to be good design. It's certainly not a contest. So basically, when we have Godrej fridge and a Whirlpool fridge, we are not looking at whether a Godrej fridge is better than Whirlpool or vice versa. Rather, it is evaluating the product on its own merit against the assessment criteria that have been established, and that is what the jury tries to see and accordingly grant the India Design Mark. That way, all kinds of products come and they get this prestigious mark. The reason to start the India Design Mark was basically to start a process, to start a mechanism to recognize good design, which eventually would lead to augment the competitiveness of Indian industrial output, because the output that we are having, there are very few benchmarks which are there which can say that this output is of a certain quality, which is of a certain international level, and so on. It also is the reason behind the India Design Mark is to increase design awareness amongst the manufacturers, amongst the businesses, amongst the companies, and eventually also amongst the.
So, thank you, Rajesh, for that nice introduction. Dr. Naushad Forbes, Professor Vyas, Mr. Sethi, and Rajesh, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really delighted to be part of this launch function of India Design Mark 2017. I really feel privileged to be here amongst the set of designers, because if I really think a traditional way of designers are typically the ones who focus largely on a form, and that's what my concept. And engineers are, we would consider hardcore designers focusing on engineering concepts. However, when I saw the theme Make in India equal to good design, equal to India Design Mark, I could really see the sign of equality, which is most frequently used by engineers and engineering designers coming in here. So I could see a very good, I would say, confluence of so-called traditional designers and engineering designers to make it, I would say, change from a small d to big D. This I am drawing from the analogy of what Professor Shiba has done in the field of manufacturing. He talks about converting from small m to big M. So I see this as a clear sign of shifting from small d to big D, which is extremely critical for the country. Well, design is really a complex process. A good design can really be, if executed well, a nice symphony, else it turns a cacophony. How well it is executed really leaves the test, because a normal orchestra will really last for a couple of hours, but the effect of design is there throughout the life of that product or the service. So these are some of the examples of a great design. This is not necessarily done by a single designer, but a set of people who have passionately worked, and therefore all these designs have really lasted, time for a long time. Well, I was also looking at some other examples of maybe I would say flawed design. If you really see all these designs, they have something interesting in it. They're really creative. However, there is some flaw in it. How can you have And these are not done by the small set of people. These are done by great, I would say, companies or organizations. There is the elevator control coming from one of the world's most well-known organization. And here is a interface design. Obviously, user will be completely confused what to do if I want to go up or down. These are real examples. So the twin facility for a washroom at a very well-known, reputed, world's one of the top engineering institute. They thought there is an accommodation which is being shared, so why can't we fit for two? This is an example of a design. So also is an example of one of the iconic buildings, very neat and nice looking, extremely well looking structure, but a fundamental flaw.
Solar thermal energy.
Yes. Harnessing solar power. Yeah. So basically, I think that's where the importance of designer comes in, and his ability to stick to the core function. What is the real purpose for the design?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be with you today. The India Design Mark is something that's very close to my heart. It's the result of work that we did in the India Design Council. In fact, when the India Design Council was first set up, at the very first meeting of the India Design Council, we started talking about what should we do as a council to really foster the cause of design in India. How do we make design something that is much greater in its impact and something that affects much more of and many more people's lives across the country. And one of the areas that we identified to work on in that very first meeting, I think, Pradyumna, was the India Design Mark. Even though we didn't call it that at that time, we said some kind of a recognition of good design in the country, and how do we use this recognition of good design as a way of raising the profile of design generally in the country and spreading awareness of what good design is all about. So it's a great pleasure to be with you today. I will start by apologizing for having to disappear on you very soon after I finish speaking. This year is being chairman of NID is a great pleasure, but it's not been taking much time this year because something else has been taking a lot of time this year, which is the Confederation of Indian Industry, which is a great pleasure also, and something that I greatly enjoy, but it does take a lot of time, and my schedule tends to get done by several other people. So two of whom are sitting in the audience. so let me make a few comments about design and what it means to me, and what I think we can valuably do as a country to further the cause of design and the cause of manufacturing good design in India. First of all, I like very much those equal signs too. Now, you know, if you're an engineer, and once upon a time I was an engineer, the equal signs have a very specific meaning. They do not mean approximately. If you want it approximately, then you need a little squiggle on top of the equal. Equal means equal. And all of us who've taken any kind of a test recently knows that we've lost lots of points if we were even slightly off in something that was supposed to be equal. So if Make in India equals good design, and good design equals the India Design Mark, then what must we do to make those equals actually happen and those equals actually be true for us as a country? So first of all, how do we bring about that first equality of make in India with good design? There were references earlier in the earlier session, which I greatly enjoyed, to how different countries have used design and good design. There were several references of Japan and the Japan Good Design Mark, I think starting in 1957, Ridesh, your slide said. What I think is good to remember is why Japan started with their own design labeling system and their own focus on design. Today, we associate Japan with good quality, we associate Japan with high technology, we associate Japan with all that is good in the world. It wasn't always that way. And we should remind ourselves that in the 50s, Japan had a reputation for high volume, cheap manufacture. Afternoon, Ramesh. Good to see you. Afternoon, Rajiv. So, apologies for having started. I have to disappear very soon, I'm afraid, so that's why we started. And it's good to remember that Japan very consciously used design as a way of moving up the value chain of products in the world, as a way of moving up the value chain also of perceptions of products in the world. And they use this in a very, very conscious system all through the 50s and 60s, and by the 70s, it became a commonplace, and Japan was then associated with high quality, good products, good design.
Designed has to be manufactured, and whatever is manufactured has to be designed. So this union is inseparable. It's something that is so intricate and interrelated that it cannot be separated. The only issue is at times whatever is designed could be actually copied. It could be done by a non-designer or could be done without the due considerations of design, and that is why good design is very, very critical to manufacturing. Manufacturing is not only about technology, but it's also about the process, as Dr. Forbes said. Without taking any further time on this, I request Professor Pradyumna Vyas to set the second context of the day and start with it.
Shri Ramesh Abhishek Ji, Secretary DIPP, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Shri Rajiv Agrawal, Joint Secretary, DIPP, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Shri Tripathi Ji, DC, MSME. Ambassador Bhatia, distinguished guests, people from media, and I see that a lot of NID graduates are here. So welcome to the launch of India Design Mark 2070 Day. Let me just give you a little background that how we started this journey, and now we are into the 6th round of India Design Mark. So the Government of India has announced National Design Policy in 2007. And pursuance of National Design Policy, the India Design Council was constituted in 2009. And the whole objective was that design-led economy, how we promote design in manufacturing sector, service sector, infrastructure sector, and take it forward. And we felt that the design, certainly the governments also push to take design agenda in mainstream, certainly has yielded a great awareness among the industry about the design. Because I know that though the institute was set up in 1961, and it was much ahead of its time that to think about design in a protected economy, when management and technology was there, but they thought of design also. It was during the mid-50s when the Eames report by Charles Eames was published. And they thought it's a very important driver. But somehow design activities started happening in 90s when the economy started opening. And I must say that for many years, the design word somewhere was connected very much with the fashion and textile and beautification. And it took some time to tell industry that it is not just a beautification or upliftment, because it is the holistic thinking which we need to really put in a systemic manner, and that is what the design process is all about. The people who invested in design, they realized that how they can get leverage, because many time industry had this particular concept that the extra money will go if you are designing. In fact, on the contrary, that if you invest in design, you get benefit in long run much more than how much you have put in. So a lot of industry which have come up, they started doing things, and we also started promoting. And India Design Council has taken this agenda in 2010. We said that let us work that which model we should take. And we joined Japan Institute of Design Promotion. They came to India. He said, why not partner with them? And Dr. Forbes mentioned that 1957 they had launched GMARK, the Good Design Award system in Japan. And why they did it? Because the post-war, the image of Japanese product was low quality, copying product, and they were not having the image that they are doing some original. And government of Japan encouraged them that why not launch this good design selection system and see that how it works. I am going as a juror in GMARK for a couple of years, and I see that in Japan you go, it's like a design movement. A common citizen, they know what is GMARK. The GMARK is so much widespread, as Dr. Forbes earlier also in the presentation was made, that the airport they are applying for GMARK, infrastructure they are applying for GMARK, lots of things which they apply, and the entire population of Tokyo is going to see that what kind of products are getting it. And 37,000 products have got actually GMARK in the whole year. Now, we made this beginning in 2012. It was a humble beginning. We started going to different places and trying to promote. Every year, we ask industry to apply. We also talked about that the fee structure is going to be different for small scale industry, for medium scale industry, and for larger scale industry. The system was developed sitting with Japan Institute of Design Promotion, and we worked out the methodology. We also made it very clear it is not award, it is a good design selection system. And it has the parameters which are taking care of more on emotional ground, more on usability ground, and obviously the technology is there in back, but how effectively the technology is used for the environment, for people, for convenience, how much inclusivity has been used. So all these things we will look. 15, 16 eminent designers and Japanese designers evaluate these products. First one was in Ahmedabad, next two were in Pune, next two were in Bangalore, and next two, 17 and 18, are going to be in Delhi. So we thought this way when we will move around India Design Mark, we would be able to also sensitize people that what is all about. And so far in 5 cycles, 214 products, we have awarded India Design Mark. Now when with Japan we collaborated, they said that if any product is getting a India Design Mark, they can apply for G Mark in Japan. And I am happy to say that last time 5 or 6 Indian products have got G Mark in Japan. Vice versa, the Japanese product who got G Mark can also apply for India Design Mark. And last time when the Japanese designer from Sony came, and he was feeling very proud that my Sony headphone has got India Design Mark, and on the packaging of Japanese product, they are carrying this India Design Mark. You feel very good about when you see that the recognition of India Design Mark is going into the Japanese product, and they are very proudly talking about this particular thing. As I mentioned that Japan has initiated the whole thing, but then it was followed by many countries, the Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, all have started good design selection system. Korea, in fact, I was in 2001, I was there in one of the conference, and they had put up the 100 years of Korean design. And I see that 1901 1911, 1922, 33, 44, 55, all these 10 years block, the products which were displayed in Korea from 1901 to 2001, I would say till 80s, whatever products Korea was making, same kind of products India was making. Their refrigerator was looking like Indian refrigerator. Their washing machine in 80s was looking like Indian washing machine. Their consumer durable, other consumer durable were looking like Indian. Into common entrance test for all design schools. It's almost like that you take the ranking for from India Design Council, this is the rank, and that rank you can go to any design school and they can call you for interview. So one full test we can really eliminate, and it's a single test in the entire country, and that mechanism we are trying to work it out. Some resources requirements are there, so that's why it's taking little time, but I'm sure the years to come we would be able to also do that. The third agenda which we have taken is the Chartered Society of Designers. Many design companies are coming up. It was a small group of people, so there was a personal contact with industry, with design professionals and all there. But now, when your community is growing, there are issues which are coming up where the client and design relationship, where the fees, where the undercutting, where all those issues, who will take care? That the in the Architecture Council that is there, can India Design Council also protect the interest of design fraternity in the country and see that there is the Chartered Society of Designer is another agenda where we have to bring in. So far this was a small community, but designers have to come together. There are so many projects which Government of India is offering. In fact, today we are releasing one this document which what NID has done in for the government over the years. Those kind of product we have documented, because people do talk about that in nation building, what is the contribution of institutions. So we have divided two, that in the design projects and social related development project, the two documents we are making. The social development project document is not ready yet, but this another document which we'll be releasing today, we thought it's important to talk about that, how design schools can help in nation building and also help in government in working out the various policies. The one aspect which I would also like to submit to the Honorable Secretary is that mostly designers sit and talk with designers. And this is something where designers are talking to designers, and it becomes like a, you know the profession, we know the profession, and we are exchanging ideas. I think we have to move. I would say that in IS Academy we need to talk about design. The young officers who are coming out from that college should know that how design can help in social development. At least the young officers would know that where to go for looking into help in the rural area. So arranging some kind of presentations with IS Academy, or can we have a platform where the police, where the veterinary doctor, where the other stakeholders of the society can come together and talk about what is this design thinking which we can inculcate, because it's a system thinking which we are talking about. So more and more such platforms which we have to really take it forward. But I must say that we have started. It's I would say that another big thing which has happened to this country is that the design clinic scheme, which 6-7 years which we have completed, and the way we have gone in the entire country, from northeast to north to south to more than, I would say, 200, 300 places the designers have gone and talking to small scale sectors, and it has created so much of awareness. So somewhere design movement has started. Now once it will start giving results, I am sure the impact will be seen, that how not only on the economic development but also for the social development. In this, the institutions, the government body, the design fraternity, industry, all need to come together and see that this impact, how we can take, because end of the day, what we need to measure is not just working for any scheme, but what is the impact it has given. The impact measurement is very important. That's why in design clinic, we are working out on the impact study, that if we have designed something, how many fold the earning or the turnover has gone into. There is a study in which they say that if you invest in design 5%, the effect of that design can go up to 70%. And with that kind of understanding which we take, I am sure the design will make the difference in improving the quality of life, and not only improving the quality of life, but it talks about the other thing also, because I forgot to mention that today is the 29th of June, which is the World Industrial Design Day. And World Industrial Design Day started with celebrating 50 years when the International Council of Societies of Industrial Design, where NID is also member, when they completed in 2007 50 years, they said that let us launch World Industrial Design Day. And on 29th June, all over the world, some design functions are happening. Either competitions are launched, we are launching India Design Mark, we will be sharing this launch on the Exit website, which will be seen by everybody. So you will see that this design, what is happening in India, will go through all over the world by this World Industrial Design Day. And they talk about quality of life, quality of empowerment, quality of environment, everything based, the happiness index, how we can use design for a holistic development. And this 29th June, we have chosen for launching India Design.
I believe all of us do have a passion in life, and that's what brings us here. The Honorable Secretary, DIPP, friends. After having heard Dr. Vyas and the kind of passion that he has and the kind of passion for design that he generates, I would rather buy design, not talk of design out here. And, as such, with the experts that we have here, there's not much I can really tell you about design. But yes, the Government of India is committed to design, and not mischievous designs, but design in the good sense and the good designs that Dr. Vyas has talked of, and the India Design Marks that we're going to release here and launch the 6th series today. So it is a momentous occasion for all of us. We are celebrating the anniversary. They may not have a campus of their own. They may not yet have a hostel of their own. And there's been a lot of guest faculty and other things are still coming up. But the kind of enthusiasm that is there, it's amazing. It's to be seen, it's to be heard, it's to be experienced. To actually, and we really hope that the children who come from there will not only serve as good designers for themselves, but for the society and for the country at large. At this juncture, I would just like to point out that the government has come up with the national IPR policy. In fact, this was approved only recently on the 12th of May. There are elements of design. The government does recognize the fact that given the vast potential of design in India and designers, the number of applications that come under the Designs Act is abysmally low. In fact, this year I think it crossed 10,000 for the first time. So this is a factor which really needs to be looked at. How do we bring more and more people, the intellect, the IPs that you have, and get them converted into IPRs, so that you're able to enjoy the fruits of your intellect. And this is something the government is working on. In fact, in the last 1 month, we've organized road shows across the country with various industry associations. And the kind of response that has come from various industry clusters, from MSMEs and from others, it's really opened our eyes also. The industry, the entrepreneurs are really hungry for having their IPRs recognized and then enjoying the fruits thereof. So we're really working to that, and this is something we'll be working closely with industry, with experts in the field, to create awareness and sensitize entrepreneurs and the public at large about IPs and IPRs. The National IPR policy also talks of nurturing innovation, which is protectable by the design statutes and design laws. Obviously, this also implies that the administration of our design wing, which is housed in Calcutta, also needs to be improved and digitized, and online searches should be available. So we are moving in that direction, and we are hopeful that in the coming years
we will have a vibrant ecosystem pertaining to design.
Important day. I like to congratulate the India Design Council and NID on all the initiatives that they have taken. We know that India has a tremendous potential to grow. The potential has not been tapped at all, and now our government is totally committed to have a high growth rate of GDP. We should be growing at double digit for next 3 decades, just as China has done. Only then we would be able to have a per capita income which is far more than $1,500 per year, and we ensure a proper quality of life to our people. Now the question is, how do we do that? For that we need a strong infrastructure, we need to have a strong agriculture sector, and we need a very vibrant manufacturing sector, as is the objective of the manufacturing policy. We want to have a 25% share in GDP in the next few years. And of course, we already have a very vibrant services sector. We need jobs for our people. Where 1 million odd people come into the job market every month, and we have a huge backlog. So there are so many challenges that we have. And today, in a very globalized world, it's a very integrated economic and trading system. There is huge competition now.